John and I live like roommates that hate each other. He's called me a stupid bitch repeatedly.
I'll go through a lawyer, and you're gonna pay, because I'm gonna get full custody. Full custody.
I don't think so.
I do.
You understand that it is patently unfair to record her when she doesn't know it, but you know it, and so you're on the tape saying, well, yes, actually, I think that's quite fine.
I'm calling the police. I'm sick of you threatening me, you little.
How did I threaten her? Right, so if I threatened your mom?
You take them into work and you show them a picture of a website, some guy that I've never met, and tell the kids I have a boyfriend.
You can't call your children's father in front of them a moron. That's not okay. You can't get your children and tell them, Mommy has a boyfriend, go look at this website.
You made me I'm serving you with legal documents. Petition and summons for dissolution of marriage.
Do you know I'm gonna have to move out maybe tonight? What do you think about that?
Freaked out. This is gonna be horrible.
John will fight me because even though he doesn't want the house, he just doesn't want me to have it.
I'm asking for half the Tupperware.
What do you care about Tupperware? You couldn't get $50 for all of it in a garage sale a year from now.
I just think it's ironic that even though he never bought me any pieces of jewelry, that now he wants half my jewelry. That stupid air hockey table.
I'd like to keep it.
Well, you know what? He can cram.
John's attorney is Suzanne Griffiths. On my left is Amy's attorney, Ann Gushurst.
I am 100% behind John tape recording the phone conversations between himself and Amy because it is the only way to keep her from going crazy and ballistic. Your client wants to declare war. She will have a fight on the beaches to the end.
How is that going to help my children? A fight on the beaches?
She was devastated after the Dr. Phil show. She thought that she'd been set up by John. She said to me several times she felt like she was raped.
She looked at me as if she wanted to kill me. These two are driving me crazy. They're driving me crazy too.
The ultimate dig is to suggest he's sleeping with the kids, which is inviting everybody to say, maybe he's some type of pervert.
The P word got mentioned. Amy says she absolutely did not, and that's a figment of his imagination.
Hi, John. You gotta tell me the stuff that you literally will die if you do not get.
Okay, he can have the plants, but I want the pots.
Wedding pictures.
We can mutually burn them.
She says she has a diamond bracelet. Are you prepared to sell it?
As long as she doesn't have time to get to a jeweler to have all the diamonds popped out and fake ones put in.
Do you want to try and find some resolution and try and move forward peacefully or not? Because I can see you're agitated. And
He wants my digital camera. I'm leaving. I'm sorry. I really am. I'm not joking this time.
Hi, Amy.
And you know, I don't understand why I have to be so reasonable.
I can't represent somebody who is so emotional. Maybe she'll fire me with a new lock.
My attitude at the moment is I don't think she's a fit mother. I don't think she's a capable custodian. I'm thinking twice about her sanity.
I have decided to hire the other attorney, Greg.
After 4 weeks, 2 days, and 11 hours on the job, Ann was off the case. Amy's new lawyer, Greg Greenstein.
Okay, he can have one hamper if I can have the leather couch and the chair. He can have the hamper in Rachel's room. Suzanne, it's not your decision. It is going to be our decision.
Are you guys being petty? Is it like I cannot give him or her anything because it's a sign of weakness?
And that is the voice-activated tape recorders. There's 2 of them.
Okay, she gets one, and let me tell you, she can use it to record all his phone calls as long as she tells him in advance.
I'm not the type to do that. I'm not petty and disgusting. I want it for my daughter's piano recital,
All right, enough of that.
All right. John gets the lawnmower, and Amy gets the freezer, 2 clothes hampers, and the DVD player.
Nope.
You tell us what your deal is as far as you're concerned. I assume you want everything.
I deserve everything.
If you believe that the house should be sold and you think you want to keep the house, then why not just sell her your part of the house?
She can't afford to pay that.
But that's not your problem. Do you feel that you should pay maintenance to your wife?
It goes against the grain for me to pay her maintenance. She'll be getting child support.
There's your side and your side. I'm on the kid's side.
Hey, Amy.
Nice to see you.
John, good to see you again.
We've got several things that we need to accomplish under our court rules. Amy's Volvo.
Okay.
14135.
We don't have a problem with that. John's vehicle is here. You're welcome to go and have a look at it. It is in fair condition.
Why is it fair condition? Hasn't he kept his car up? I think it's in good condition. Let's go and inspect it.
Can we go and look at both vehicles?
We're not going to look at mine because mine is
look
good.
At both. Well, hers is here, so let's do hers first. It's certainly a mess.
Let's not be petty and go tit for tat because you'll lose on this argument with me.
I'm simply saying if we're going to have your photographs, we're going to have
Suzanne, let me go see your car.
It looks just as untidy as Amy's car does. I don't see what difference there
I'm
is
simply
here.
saying that John...
No. Suzanne says that John has a right to have a messy car. I do not. I hate her.
Okay, then we come to the frequent flyer miles. We'll stipulate that Amy's got 266,688 plus.
I'm sure that comes up in every divorce, frequent flyer miles.
John has a fabulous little program which pegs in every single stock that either he owns or that Amy owns.
That's funny that he never told me about this fabulous little program.
I am a bit concerned about how John pulled off the internet Amy's account information.
Well, why don't you let me explain? Why don't you let me explain?
Amy never shared her credit card information with John.
Suzanne, please don't put words in my mouth. It's extremely insulting. I have never taken out a... Could you please let me say something? You know my passwords, just look it up.
I don't know your passwords, and if you think I do, you should change them. And if you don't change them, then I think it's your problem.
Sounds like a threat.
Okay, now we come to Amy's credit cards.
That's when I had to pay for my earrings, my own earrings. That was in the balance.
Is that the earrings that you said I gave you as a gift?
We do have an issue regarding music lessons.
I don't believe we want to pay.
I want to hear it from John. I want him to say it on camera for the Dr. Phil show that he will not be paying piano lessons for my daughter. John, will you or will you not be paying piano lessons for our daughter, Rachel?
It's not going to be forced on me through this agreement.
I didn't ask you if it's going to be forced. I said between you and I, are you going to pay her piano?
John can explain to the judge why he doesn't want to pay for his daughter's piano lessons. No problem.
That's not the situation.
It is the situation.
The house, John's asking be allocated to him. We want the house and you want the house.
Well, how come on Dr. Phil, he's never mentioned this whole divorce that he wanted the house?
We believe that it's financial suicide for her.
Well, I think that's a pretty pessimistic and completely baseless allegation.
I'm always the one making the better financial decisions. If it was up to John, he would have had a 50-year mortgage. I wanted a 10.
What about in 3 years' time if the rate goes up by 2%? Then what
happens if there's a nuclear war tomorrow? There's no reason for her not to do it except John doesn't want her to have the house.
John, did my mother give us $10,000 for the house?
John, let's not go into the...
No, I need to ask that question.
My instruction to him is that we're not litigating the trial right now.
I'm going to take a break for a minute.
Okay. You okay?
No, I'm not okay. I just want to be by myself, okay?
That's okay. Remember I said anytime you need a break, you can just tell me.
I would like to go to court over the frequent flyer miles. I don't care.
If you go to court, there is only a 50-50 chance that you will get the house.
Sure.
Maybe the answer is something like a smaller cash amount, less than $175, more than $150, and no maintenance.
I don't have any other options.
You have lots of options. You always have options.
Don't you think he comes out ahead then?
No, he comes out behind. Amy has a counteroffer for you. Amy will cash out John for $155,000 and waive maintenance entirely.
John is prepared to take the $155,000 for the house. Everybody's keeping their own retirement accounts, each keep their own vehicles, and that's basically it.
Marriage is irretrievably broken and the wife is not pregnant. You assume that's correct, Amy?
Yeah, it's not possible.
All we've got left is the famous frequent flyer mile.
We may just need to have a trial on that because Amy is not willing to concede any of those frequent flyer miles.
We're done.
I think 13 hours was enough today, guys, but we got it done. Good night, guys. All right, let's head out.
Do you think that a parenting coordinator is needed here?
Any time, in any case where there are parents and they are joint decision makers, you need a parenting coordinator because if they don't agree on a point, they need somebody to resolve it.
Is that a yes?
It's a convoluted yes.
Is that lawyer for you?
A parenting coordinator was needed in this case.
Okay, and how about you?
John needs a parenting coordinator. If he's going to have any equality or any input in these children's lives, he needs a parenting coordinator.
Okay. Now, and something that I'm really confused about here is with all the resentment and bitterness that you have voiced about him, I understand now that you are inviting him to live in the home with you and rent a room.
The only reason I did that is because John has to be out June 1st, and he's going to stay at a hotel. And I said to him, are you going to bring the children to the hotel? And I said, if you can stay with me and be civil and live as roommates, I said, without you tape recording me, then I said, then yeah, you can stay until you find something. And I didn't think that was out of the question. I have a lot of friends who have gotten divorced and had to live together for a certain time after they got settled.
So you want a suicide bomber renting a room in your house? That's not, that doesn't make sense to me, is what I'm saying. We're faced now with the redefining of your relationship. What do you think is the biggest change you need to make in order to ensure that things go smoothly from the children's perspective?
I'm just gonna not let the resentment and what I've been through in this marriage dictate what happens in the future. I'm not going to. John's gonna be out of my life, and I think that it's gonna have a positive impact on the way I deal with him.
Okay, but you realize he's not gonna be out of your life.
But he is gonna be out of my life day to day and emotionally. He will be. I mean, I'm gonna deal with him with the kids only, but it's gonna be on a different level, and I think I'm gonna be a happier person. I'm gonna have a better frame of mind. And I think that for my kids' best interest, I'll be able to work with John.
What do you think you need to change?
Well, we need to make this purely a business relationship.
Do you think it's best for a period of time that you just simply not see each other unless you have some problem solving that you have to do with regard to the children? I mean, where you don't spend 30 minutes or an hour together when you're making the exchange of the children. You don't put yourself in positions where you have to cohabit the same time and space for a period of time?
Absolutely.
Because you're talking about boundaries and you're saying out of your life. I can just tell you, everybody has a role in this. You know, I feel like I have a role here of getting you guys to say, I've got to stop venting and start putting my children first. And I have to tell you, so far, I give myself an F in this. Neither one of you can make a sentence about the other one without putting a dig in there. Both of you, you're pretty smooth with it, you know, you're kind of calm and all of that, but you'll say violating my privacy and things like that, and you say, you know, he's a suicide bomber and he's ridiculous in his demands and blah, 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 all of these things. And I just so want you to stop that. You know, go see counselors individually and get the anger out, give it a voice, resolve it in some way, but don't do it in a way that impacts the children, because they don't get a vote, they don't get a voice. And so as a result, I think it might be best if you just don't see each other. Even if, you know, if there's a trusted friend or you pull up and the children come outside or whatever, and you just don't have any contact. But the truth is, you become sensitized so much to things that you have to pick at and be negative about to protect yourself during the battle. You know, you have to hate the enemy. It's like you got to get your game face on. Well, it's game over for the marriage. You don't have to posture. You're not negotiating anymore. You're not living together, so you don't have to fight for your space. The only thing you have in common now, you agree on. And that's the children and wanting them to flourish and do well. And I really, really want you to commit to saying, I need to focus on the good things about my children's mother. I need to focus on the good things about my children's father. Now it's about what can we do for these children to make sure that they don't be scarred any more than necessary by the process. We'll be right back.
Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.